So just had Fever in session for Form by River live at the Adelphi. How are we doing, guys?
Good man, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you, not bad.
Good.
So obviously you guys played in a little bit of a different format to what you'd play usually. How was that for you, and like how did you kind of come to prepare for something that's a little different from what you usually do?
Do you want to take this one, Joe?
Uh, I personally found it more difficult than a normal gig. I was
Right.
overthinking every single move, every single kick drum. I was terrified of doing. Yeah, I just felt like I was tickling the drums, to be honest. So I was quite relieved when we got to the end of it, if I'm being honest. But I'm sure, I, having watched it back, it sounded lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's just like one of them, innit? Like when you're a drummer and things are stripped down, it's probably a little bit more nerve-wracking to miss a beat.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
it's more when you've not like obviously normally when you're playing a gig, it's muscle memory, isn't it? Whereas that was like the first and probably last time we'll ever do that. So it felt like a one-off just for you, Max.
Oh, thank you, mate. So Time Will Define came out yesterday. How much does this differ from like your previous releases, and what does it say about the future of Fever as well?
Well, I don't know. I suppose with this one, we kind of felt like we wanted to delve into getting more use out of the synth and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think like we kind of wanted to just take a step, like take a sort of slight step back from the pure guitar sound and just try and see what where we could go in terms of like when the songs are out of where we can take them. And I think this was the first kind of tune that we had wrote where we felt like we could do that. And then as we've kept going, the sound just seems to be constantly changing and moving in towards that kind of direction. But yeah.
Yeah, I
How do
think
you? Sorry.
I think as well, like obviously it's been mostly this EP's well, obviously this is gonna be the first track from an EP, but it's all mostly been written over the last year. So I don't know if that's reflected in it being a bit sort of sounding a bit more grown up and a bit moody and
Yeah,
darker,
definitely.
maybe it just being like straight up pop tunes. But it's
Well,
still
yeah,
pop, just a bit moody, I think.
we kind of had, obviously, like I say, with the pandemic, had time to reflect on, our sound and where we wanted to go with it, etc. And yeah, I think, like I say, this is kind of the outcome of probably, like I say, having time to reflect. But yeah.
Amazing. And obviously you guys tour or did tour quite regularly pre-pandemic, and you're very active in terms of your socials and what you do within the industry. Um, so is there something that you feel needs to be different within the industry? Something that you feel that needs to change?
Just give the record deal. That's what I
um, I don't know. It's like it's an hard one, isn't it? I suppose there's a lot of things that need to change in the industry, whether it range from kind of moral outlook, or I don't know, like I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint things off the top of my head, but there is things that need to change within it, without a doubt.
I
Um,
yeah, I think like I don't know. I guess like after having obviously we all went on that tour with Blossoms. I get like the difference between obviously the big boys and the level we're at. It's like there's no like middle ground. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. Maybe something's got to change in some respect there. But like I don't know, doing gigs for 50 or 75 quid or whatever just isn't sustainable when it's costing you 150 quid to get there, sort of thing. I don't know, maybe stuff like that. But then I guess that's relying on venues being able to put up that cash up front, and if they don't get people through the door, they can't do that. So I don't know. Hopefully, post pandemic, everyone's going to want to go out to gigs and appreciate venues what they've always had, but maybe maybe
it's,
took for
it's,
granted.
it's like Joe said. I think some of the hardest part of like being a new band, as you'll know, is that some of it's just funding and having the actual money to be able to do things. So like I say, it costs us more money to be in this band. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're constantly in negatives, as you know, most other bands in our position, in the same position as us, will understand. So
yeah, of course, that's definitely a big factor to it. And like you say, Joe, about venues being able to fund that, make the step up to give artists more money as well. Do you have kind of a favorite venues around the UK? Do you have some since we're all the proceeds from this compilation are going towards Music Venue Trust and Stagehand? Do you have any favorite kind of independent venues around the UK?
I think independent and obvious ones, Brood and Health, in terms of the venue, what can pull in big names and big acts, but are still very much independent and not rooted to a big corporate O2 Academy or whatever. I don't know. What about you, James?
I'm trying to think. I quite liked Jimmy's in Manchester. We went and played that. I think that's a good venue. There's a few. I love a lot of the independent venues across the. I like most of them. People call obviously the toilet tour, but I like it. It's fun. I like doing the toilet tour.
Yeah, I think it builds artists a lot, like especially on the way up. Like it kind of gives you a bit of character when you tour in those smaller venues as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite, Max? I'll interview you. Let's go.
I like you say, Brudenell. Adelphi is a great one. I love the Crescent in York. There's plenty of good ones. Is Albert Hall in Manchester? Does that count as an independent? I know it's quite a big venue, but
I think it. Yeah, I'll take it.
You'll allow it. Thank you. Do you have any favourite kind of do you have any artists that we should be looking out for at the minute? Stuff that you've been listening
to? Joe's more on the ball than me, I think, with new artists, because Joe tends to show me new artists, and I'm like, oh, they're good. So
I don't know. Nothing I'm listening to at the minute is cool. I listened to Olivia Rodrigo's album yesterday.
Very nice.
Wonderful stuff. Listened to the new Wolf Alice album this morning as well. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's a belter. Really like that.
That's not me recommending a hot new artist as it was. Have you heard of these festival headliners? They're really good. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think right
now. Well, they're both good recommendations either way. Don't you worry, mate. And in an ideal world, is there someone who you'd want to collaborate with, an artist or even a producer, a venue, a promoter?
I mean, I think if any one of your favourite artists wanted to collaborate with you, whether that they be, smaller or bigger, I suppose there's always an excitement in doing something like that. I can't think off the top of my head.
I think collaboration's a massive part of being an artist and just being in the industry. That's what it's all about.
Yeah,
really.
I suppose I haven't really thought about would collaborate with much. I'm too focused in what we're doing now with who we're currently sort of collabing with.
Obviously collabing a lot with Johnny Hooker at Young Thugs.
Yeah, exactly.
And the people over at Very Clever Records as well.
Mm.
So they're collaborations in themselves, at least.
Yeah.
Have you got any thoughts, Joe?
I don't know. We've always said people like someone like James Skelly or something. If we got the opportunity, do you know what I mean? Just like great songwriters, I guess, who write great songs.
Yeah.
So you guys are obviously based in Hull. You've lived in Hull for many, many years. It's your hometown. How important is the city to you, and what do you think makes it great?
Joe?
It's just the bloody people, isn't it? I don't know. I've not lived anywhere different. I've lived here for 26 years. I don't know. I guess everyone's got that sort of self-deprecating, nobody gets too big for the boots sort of thing, and I think that's what you need. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Just that sort of Everyone just stays in the lane, I guess, and does good things, but doesn't necessarily shout about it. I quite like that.
Yeah, I second that.
Brilliant. What do you like about it, Max? There we go again.
I mean, Hull's great, isn't it? There's so many fantastic artists coming out of it at the minute. there's a real sense of community within the music scene here, which is what I love about it the most, I think, and just a lovely list of great venues as well, and a lovely list of great people that run them. So,
how does it compare to your days back in Oxford?
So the scene that I was most involved in last time was like Birmingham. So it's very different. Birmingham was very competitive, and there was a lot of everyone kind of wanted to be Peace, basically,
right,
and Superfood and Jaws and that kind of thing. And so there still is that kind of like shoegazy indie type thing going on in Birmingham. I think that's the main thing that revolves around it. But yeah, the main thing really is that there's more of a sense of community here than there is in a lot of other cities.
I think everyone, like, obviously you've just listed a load of bands there what sound similar, but like everyone does pretty much like do something different in Hull as well. Like,
yeah,
there isn't too many bands who are doing exactly the same thing as there, and I think that's healthy, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of variance in the whole scene, which makes everything more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of diversity between artists, which is, yeah, like you say, really, really good. And the final one, I guess, is you guys are obviously lived musicians in the industry. Like Joe, you've been in various bands before, and you're in Low Hummer at the minute as well. And James, you used to be in Frontiers as well, so who did lots of great things. So what's one of the most crucial things that you've learned whilst being in a band? Something that someone might have told you, or something that you've learned on the road or in the studio or whatever.
I know it's a basic one, but I don't know. I just like sort of keep putting the effort in and stuff. As it sounds, like keep, because even if the rewards are small term, it's like still, the harder you work, the more you'll see, things come to fruition. And I think like I've learned over the course of however many years it's been since I was in a band that you can't do it half-assed. You have to really put in the effort if you want to get anything good out of it. So yeah, so I suppose that's like been a lesson that I've learned, is to keep, just keep going at it, like, and not like take a back seat because you think things are just going to come to you, because they won't. So
I've learned to always listen to what the singer wants. I don't know. I think I've been in lots of bands where I've not necessarily like either fitted in like with musically what I wanted to do, or I don't know. It's more difficult when you're like a rhythm player or not, like James, where you're creating the content. Like, I guess you can only really go where the work is, where the unpaid work is. So yeah, I don't know. I think I've learned just to like do what you like, and like, I don't know. So at the minute, I'm probably in the two things I'm doing, I'm the most happy, if you can believe it, it's the most happy I am creatively. Yeah, so I just do what you're passionate in, I guess, and you'll probably get the best results rather than doing something what you think you should be doing.
Yeah. Motivational words.
Got a bit deep there, didn't
it? Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining me, guys, and all the best for the rest of the year, and hope the single gets received very well.
Thank you very much, Max. Pleasure as always.